Hi everyone. So in our last class we have started the new lesson, transportation in animals and plants. So in that lesson we have seen what is transportation and why transportation is needed for our body, what is a internal transport and what is responsible for that one, that is circulatory system. And we have seen what is blood, what are the components which are present in blood. And for to find out the components we have to know how to centrifuge the blood also, because by centrifugation only we can able to find the components present in the blood. What are the components? We have seen four main important components. First one is plasma, second one is RBC, otherwise called red blood cells, then WBC, white blood cells, and the fourth one platelets, isn't it? So now we are going to see somewhat in detail about these four components which are present in our blood. The first one is plasma. The plasma, we have seen that most of the test tube after centrifugation is occupied by plasma. That is nearly 55% of blood contains plasma, isn't it? Okay, what is plasma? Plasma is a extracellular matrix. What do you mean by extracellular matrix? Extra means what? Outside. Cellular meaning cell. So the plasma is a component which is present outside the cell. Matrix meaning medium. So the component which is present outside the cell and acts as a medium is called plasma. Basically it means the entire medium is filled with plasma. The blood, the entire medium is filled with plasma. I'll give one small example. I hope you can able to see a blue box. Within the blue box, one square, one circle, one triangle was given inside. I hope you can able to see. Imagine this is a room. Okay, inside the room, square table is there, circle chair is there, and triangle, some one more motor chair is there. Imagine like that. So what are the things which are present inside this room? You can say square chair, circle chair, and triangle chair. Only these things. What about the remaining empty places? That is occupied by the air, isn't it? Likewise, if you take the blood, square, circle, triangle, these are the cells which are present. For example, that is nothing but the WBCs, RBCs, and platelets. So the remaining, the empty places are there, no? The air which is occupied inside the room, that is called plasma. So the plasma is a extracellular matrix. Extracellular means what? It is present outside the cell. So the remaining RBCs, WBCs, and platelets are embedded in this plasma. They are embedded in this plasma. Imagine a cake. So for example, if you are getting a cake for your birthday, you may see some toppings on that one. It may be either germs chocolate they will be present, or some choco sticks they will be used to place, or some fruits and all they will decorate on the top, isn't it? So cake is a plasma, and the remaining thing, that is cashews, pistams, choco sticks, whatever it is decorated on the toppings, no, they are the RBCs, WBCs, and platelets. So plasma is a fluid, and it contains it occupies 55% of the blood, and the other blood components are embedded in this plasma. Hence plasma are called as extracellular matrix. I hope now you understand, I think. Okay, and if you see the composition of plasma, see, if you see composition of blood, 55% of blood is occupied by plasma. If we take the composition of plasma, it contains 90% water, 8% proteins, and 2% of electrolytes, hormones, and nutrients. So among the 55% of plasma, it contains 90% of water. That's why this gives the plasma is responsible for this fluidity of the blood. We know blood is the only thing which can able to move from our top to toe, isn't it? So that blood flow is given by this 90% of water. So plasma is responsible for this fluidity. Okay, and it also contains 8% of proteins. Some various proteins are also present in plasma, and 2% electrolytes, hormones, and nutrients are also there. So this is the composition of plasma. Okay, so the remaining things, that is RBCs, WBCs, are embedded in this fluid matrix. What do you mean by fluid matrix? Here, plasma. So all the components are present in this plasma. So okay, now we are going to see what are the major proteins present in plasma. Now only I told 8% plasma contains 8% of proteins. What are the proteins? The first one is fibrinogen. First one is what? Fibrinogen. It is a protein which is present in plasma. Its main function is do the blood clotting mechanism. It is responsible for the blood clotting. And what do you mean by clotting? If we have any cut or wound, what happens? The blood will come out, isn't it? After some time, it will stop. It stops as it is. If we didn't do anything also, it will stop usually, isn't it? That is because of the clotting mechanism. So the fibrinogens are responsible for the blood clotting. Not only fibrinogen, the platelets. The one of the component of blood is platelets. Like plasma, WBC, RBC and platelets are also components. In plasma, fibrinogen involved in blood clotting mechanism. Not only fibrinogen, platelets also doing the blood clotting mechanism. That is, it stops the blood flow. If there is no blood clotting mechanism, what happened? The blood continuously flow out from our body. That may also lead to fatal, that is death, isn't it? So blood clotting is an important mechanism which is taking place in our blood, and that is done by this plasma. The second protein is globulin. The second protein is globulin. It plays an defense mechanism of body. That is, it plays a defense mechanism against infection. That is, it fights against infection. Globulins are responsible for fighting against infection. That is, it protects our it protects our body from any infections, any germs. And the third important protein is albumin. It maintains our osmotic balance. What do you mean by osmotic? That is water balance. It maintains the right amount of water in our blood. We know that plasma contains 90% of water which is responsible for the blood fluidity, isn't it? So that 90% of water is maintained by this protein albumin. So these are the three important proteins which are present in plasma. I repeat, what are the proteins? Fibrinogen, globulin, albumin. What is the function of fibrinogen? It acts in blood clotting mechanism. Second one, globulin, it fight against diseases. That is our body mechanism. Third one is albumin. It maintains our osmotic balance. What do you mean by osmotic balance? Water balance. Okay. The next thing is red blood cells. Almost 45% of our blood contains red blood cells, otherwise called RBC, otherwise called erythrocytes. Cytes meaning CYTES, cytes meaning cell. Cytes meaning what? Cell. Erythro is the word which represents red color. So the cells which are red in color are called erythrocytes. Okay, they are most abundant cells in blood. See, where are the RBCs are present? They are embedded in the plasma only. Okay, so while comparing RBC, WBC and platelets, the remaining components of blood, RBCs are most abundant cells in blood. Okay, 5 million RBCs are found in 1 microliter of blood. If you check 1 microliter, 1 liter is, we know that 1000 ml. 1 micro means 10 power minus 6. 10 to the power minus 6 liter. Okay, very, very small amount of blood. In 1 microliter of blood, how many RBCs are there? Nearly 5 million RBCs are there. They are a huge number, isn't it? 5 million is a huge number. In a small amount of blood, it contains 5 million RBCs, and they are small cells without nucleus. So they are very small. The size is very, very, very small, and they do not have any nucleus. See, usually a cell contains nucleus, isn't it? But blood is the only cell which doesn't contain nucleus. There is absent of nucleus, hence it is called anucleated. RBCs are called anucleated. A means absence, absence of nucleus. Hence it is they are anucleated and they are biconcave. So here the RBC picture is given. Biconcave. Concave means what, ma? There is a small tapering, small bend inside. Bi means if you check the both sides of the RBC, both sides are also there in the center. There you can able to find a tapering. That is, it is tapering towards the center. Hence they are biconcave. Both sides of the cells are concave. Okay. What is the main purpose of RBC? It carry oxygen from lungs to different parts of the body. So we have studied in respiration. I hope you remember, isn't it? Oxygen, that is what we are inhaling from the atmosphere, binds with blood, because blood is the only medium which can travel all parts of our body, isn't it? So it binds with that blood and it will transport to all parts of the cells. Okay. So blood, we know that blood contains 4 components. So which component is going to carry this oxygen? RBCs. Why RBCs? Because RBC contain a pigment called hemoglobin. RBC contains a pigment called hemoglobin. What do you mean by pigment? Pigment meaning color giving. So what color it is? Hemoglobin is responsible for what color? What color it is giving out? Red color. Okay. So it is a respiratory pigment. Which pigment? Hemoglobin, which has high affinity for oxygen. Affinity means binding. The hemoglobins bind easily with the oxygen. Where the hemoglobin pigment is present? It is present in RBC. So the RBC cells, which is present, RBC cells present in the blood, binds with the oxygen and transport this oxygen to all parts of the body. So the oxygen plus hemoglobin binding is called oxyhemoglobin. They are called what? Oxyhemoglobin. Okay. So the main function of RBC is to carry the oxygen from lungs to all parts of the body. And what about their, I already told they are very small in size, isn't it? So even so they are very small in size, they can travel in extremely thin capillaries. What do you mean by capillaries? It's one of the vessel, blood vessel. So blood vessels, there are 3 types of blood vessels: arteries, veins and capillaries. So in our last class I have told you red lines, blue lines and all. Red lines carry oxygenated blood, blue lines carry deoxygenated blood. I hope you remember. Otherwise you just recall the video. Okay. So the blood flowing inside the vessel called blood vessels. One of the blood vessel is capillary and they are very thin. They are very thin tube like structure. So since they are very thin, the RBCs are also very small in size, so it can easily able to flow inside the thin tube. So they are very small in size. And where they are produced from? They are produced in bone marrow. RBCs are produced in bone marrow of the stem cells. So what is stem cell? You might not know about this, I hope so. They are called embryonic cells that have not yet become specialized tissue cell. See, when a woman gets pregnant, the baby starts to grow inside the uterus of that woman, isn't it? During the growth of that fetus, as first they will make a single cell, then it will divides and continues, then one organ will develop, isn't it? Cells are all grouped together to form tissues and tissues grouped to form the organs, and then only the whole baby will you get the structure of the whole baby, isn't it? So the cells which are formed first, they are called specialized cells. Later these cells are developed into different organs. Those cells are called, they are produced in the bone marrow. One of the cell RBCs are also one of that one. Okay. What about the lifetime? That is 120 days. Lifespan meanings the time that can able to survive. Okay. So they do not have life forever. Okay. After 120 days, that is it produced in bone marrow. After 120 days, it will die. Okay. Then every day new red blood cells will be formed. So every day after 120th day, every cells, the older cells will die also. So where it will die? It will die in the spleen. Hence they are called graveyard. RBC is graveyard. Spleen is called RBC graveyard. So first we have seen about plasma. Now I spoke about red blood cells, otherwise called RBCs. They are most abundant in cells. RBC, WBC and platelets are embedded in the plasma. If you take among these three, RBCs are most abundant. If you take 1 microliter, 5 million RBCs are there. They are very small in size. There is no nucleus, hence they are anucleated. They are having biconcave. What about the shape? It is biconcave. The main function is to carry oxygen along with the pigment hemoglobin, hence they are called oxyhemoglobin. Since they are very small in size, they can even able to travel inside the thin capillaries. They are produced in bone marrow and the lifespan is 120 days. Where does the death takes place? It takes place in the spleen. Okay, now we are going to talk about WBCs, that is white blood cells. Okay, what is white? We know that white blood cells are also called leukocytes. I told cytes means cell, leuco means no color. Leuco means what? No color. So here there is no hemoglobin, because hemoglobin is a pigment which gives red color, isn't it? Here no hemoglobin, so there is no red color, so they are white in color, hence they are called white blood cells. While comparing the number RBCs, there are 5 million RBCs we can found in 1 microliter. Here in 1 microliter of blood, how many WBCs are there? Just 4,000 to 11,000 WBCs are only present. And RBCs, there is no nucleus, but WBC are having nucleus. They are red in color because of the pigment hemoglobin. Here no pigment, so they are colorless. And WBCs are also different types are there. They are also different shapes. But RBC all are biconcave. All RBCs are biconcave in shape. While if you take WBC, there are some subdivisions are there, so they are not having the same shape. Okay. What is the main purpose of WBC? They fight against infection and builds our immune system of our body. Have you heard people saying that a boy tend to ill very frequent? That is, the boy is weak because his immune system is not strong. Have you heard this word before? Yes, because if our immune system is very strong, we won't get any infection. So because our immune system fight against with any infection. Okay, so and these WBCs are not only present in blood, it also present in other parts of our body like liver, spleen, lymph glands and all. They are different shapes and size, and the lifespan is just 3 to 4 days. In RBC it is 120 day, but WBC 3 to 4 days. Okay, so while comparing just RBC, while studying RBC and WBC, compare and study, then only it will be easy for you. We can compare in abundance. They are large in abundance. RBC here we are small, lesser in abundance, and number of RBCs in 1 microliter of blood is 5 million. Here 4,000 to 11,000. What about nucleus? RBC absence of nucleus, WBC presence of nucleus. What about color? RBC red color, WBC white color. What about the pigment? Hemoglobin pigment is present in RBC, hemoglobin pigment is absent in RBC. Then what about shape? Biconcave, here different shape. And what about the function? They carry oxygen to different parts of the body from the lungs. Here it fight against infection. So always compare the RBC and WBC so that you can easily study. And lifespan 120 days in RBC, here just 3 to 4 days. Okay. The fourth component which is present in our blood is platelets, otherwise called thrombocytes. So what is the main function, ma'am? The formation of blood clotting is the main function of platelets. So while studying a plasma also, I told different protein fibrinogen plays in blood clotting, isn't it? The same thing, like fibrinogen, platelets are also involved in blood clotting mechanism. While seeing the size, they are even smaller While comparing to WBC, platelets are very small in size, but while comparing to the number wise, they are 2 liter to 5 liter of platelets you can able to find in 1 microliter of blood. Sorry, lakhs. 2 lakh to 5 lakh platelets are found in 1 microliter of blood. The main function is formation of blood clotting. What do you mean by clot? I told blood clotting mechanism. Blood clotting mechanism. What is clot? Clot means a lot of blood gets accumulated in one place and form a cap-like structure when during any hurt or wound. See in this picture, a boy, you can able to see a cut in the hand, in the finger, isn't it? After this, what happened? The cell starts to, a lot of blood gets accumulated in that place after some time, and it make a cap like structure, so no further bleeding will take place. That is called blood clotting. That is called what? Blood clotting. And that blood clotting was done by these platelets. Okay, and where they are produced? They are produced by the large bone marrow cells. They are called as megakaryocytes. Megakaryocytes. So now we are going to see about the coagulation of blood. Coagulation of blood is nothing but blood clotting. Both are same. Coagulation of blood, otherwise we can say blood clotting. So how it is taking place? Components of blood coming together to form a lump-like structure. So coagulation of blood, how does it happen? Once you find any hurt or wound, the components of blood, what are the components of blood? Plasma, RBC, WBC, platelets. In this plasma, because plasma contains the protein fibrinogen, that fibrinogen and platelets immediately rush to the wound place. Immediately it rush to the wound place, and what it will do? It will form a lump-like structure. That is called what? Coagulation. So blood clots in response to that injury. That is the function. So if you get any injury, blood clots in response blood in response to an injury takes place. For this class, clotting formation occurs due to the presence of the protein fibrin. So for coagulation of blood, we need two things. One is platelets and another one is fibrinogen. Fibrin, fibrinogen, both are same only. Okay. So platelets, what it will do? It initiates the blood clotting mechanism. Platelets, it initiates the blood clotting mechanism, and fibrinogen, that is one of the protein present in plasma, it promotes the blood clotting mechanism. So both are doing the same mechanism. If anyone is absent, whether the function will work? No. Because to start the process, we need platelets, and to continue the blood clotting process, fibrinogen. If any one of the thing is absent, what happened? The blood will continuously flow out from our body. So continuous flow of blood leads to excess of blood loss. Excess of blood loss meaning death. Okay, so the two things of platelets and plasma protein, which protein? Fibrinogen, is essential for this blood clotting mechanism, that is to stop the blood. Okay, so today we have seen about the components of blood: plasma, red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets. Red blood cells, white blood cells and platelets, where they are present, they are embedded in this plasma only. Plasma is the extracellular matrix. Okay, go through the video again. I'll continue in our next class. Okay, thank you.